In EverEver, every star child waits and dreams of their family. Has a star child chosen your family? Let's bring them home together. Now that we've used most of this side of our piece, that means that we can open up this fabric now, which is good because we only need a single layer for this next step. So this is going to be the back piece, and I know that because we're going to create these little darts here, and the front piece doesn't have those. So again, we're going to trace around it. Now, this is quite a big piece, so if you feel more comfortable to pin this to your fabric while you trace, then go ahead and do that. But I'm just going to hold it while I trace here. Now, as we trace this around here, you'll notice that there is a start position here and a finish position. If you need to, you should just mark the little starting position underneath. And that indicates, obviously, where we're going to start. Where we're going to start sewing. So just checking to make sure I have the line drawn clearly on all the spots. If it looks a little fuzzy, just put your pattern piece back over and just redo that little section. Now again, because this is the line that we need to cut, sorry, the line that we need to sew onto, we're giving it a bit of a seam allowance as we cut around here. Now we will trim this up again, but for now, that's all I want to do. I don't want to cut in between the legs just yet. Now we want to prepare these darts. Now to do that, I'm going to grab the corner of this one and bring it to the corner of that one. And that lets me know that these corners are together, obviously. And I'm just going to pin those. And we're going to sew along this line. And that will give us a little dart. So keep that one there for a moment. And I'll do the other dart. So we put our pin in the very corner of the first point and then bring it to the very corner of the second point in the dart. And we make the pin go straight. There we go. That's our dart. Now let's pin that. So across this line from the point of the dart out towards the edge of the body, we're going to sew that now. I'm going to remove this pin so I don't sew over that pin. I'm just checking my stitches, making sure it's not a zigzag stitch. And that's it. That's one of the darts done. Now let's do the other side. Remove that pin as well. Start from the dart point. Now that our darts are done, it's time to get the second layer of fabric for the rest of the body. And we're going to lay our first body piece over the second one. Now I want it flat, so make sure these darts are sitting like a fold, just like this. Now we're going to use lots of pins to keep everything together. Now, right up near these darts, I want to get the pin as close as I can to the section that's going to be sewn. And I'm going to add some pins just after it as well. Now with these darts, what we want to do is we're going to open them up and we're going to fold them down. Now I am going to move that pin because it's too close. Put that one back in a second. I'm doing this because I want us to sew over this line here. So I need this dart to be open so it's not bulky on the inside of the doll. And the other side. Okay, there we go. So I'm just pushing it down to hold it in that position so I can sew over it. So when I sew, I'm going to flatten this and sew over the line. I will remove this pin so I don't hit it. So we have all of our pins on here, but to make this a little bit more manageable in the sewing machine, I want to take off this fabric. So here, I'm just going to follow around the cutout of the first piece of fabric that I already have. And again, I'm not cutting in here just yet. So now this piece is ready to start sewing. So we remember the little mark that we made to indicate where we're going to start sewing. So it's on this part of the shoulder. We're going to go all around the body very slowly and carefully. And this is the point where we're finishing on the other side. So let's start. Now just remove your pins out of the line that we're sewing as you get to them. As you just saw, I backtacked over that dart just to help give it a little extra strength. Now that I've done the first row of stitching, what I'm going to do now is do another one, just as close as I can get without touching the first row on the outside. So these are my stitches. Now let's go and cut this out. So now we're going to cut our body out. At the top, I can get fairly close to that line that I have at the top here. And I'm leaving about half a centimetre seam allowance, which is 1/4 of an inch. I had to get a little closer as I went through those feet there. I'm just going to leave that for a second, and I will come back to that piece in a minute. Now, I left the in between the legs a little messy, so I'm just going to make this like a square shape. Now, I'm going to take my little snips and I'm going to create a V like this in that little section. Now, again, if we snip this and we cut through the stitches, you'll have to go and sew that seam again. So that's my little V section there. Now remove all of the pins. Now we do remember that this is the back because this little dart section forms a bum, and on the front we don't have that there. So let's turn it inside out, right side out, right side out. One leg at a time. And the other leg. Okay, toes are out. Now use your chopstick to push those seams out again on both sides of the legs. And this is our little body that we have right now.
Thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, show your support by giving it a like. And if you'd like to stay updated with all of my new tutorials, please subscribe.